Hey everyone, and welcome back to Balanced, the podcast where we blend business and real life in harmony. I'm Stephanie, your host and fellow business owner and bookkeeper. And today I've got a bit of a tough love episode for you. If you want your business to grow, you have got to stop lying to yourself. And I mean, really stop. So I'm coming in hot with a truth bomb session asking 5 brutally honest questions that every business owner needs to answer. These are the kinds of questions that might sting a little. Trust me, I've been there. I've had to face each one of these in my own journey. But answering them honestly is exactly what will set you free and set you up for real growth. So grab your notebook or open up a doc. You may want to take some notes on this one. Let's dive in. The first question is, would I pay me for the work that I do? Be brutally honest here. If you stepped out of your own shoes and became your own customer, would you honestly hand over your hard-earned cash for what you offer? If your immediate reaction is a long pause or a face that says, maybe I would if I had a coupon for it, well, then we have a problem. This is not about tearing yourself down. It's about checking in on the value that you deliver. I will level with you. Years ago, I asked myself this exact same question and I didn't love the answer. I realized I was charging for just okay work and expecting people to be thrilled. I was brand new at the time, but still, I had to step it up. So ask yourself, is your work truly top notch? Are you over delivering enough that you would be a satisfied customer of your own business? If not, it's time to raise the bar. Maybe that means improving your product, refining your service, or upping your skills. Remember, if you wouldn't pay for your own work, why should anyone else? Sometimes a tough look in the mirror is the wake-up call that we need to start offering real value that we can feel great about charging for. Now for question 2. Am I chasing busy or am I building wealth? This one hits a lot of us entrepreneurs right in the gut. We all know that person, and maybe it's even been you who loves to humble brag about working 80-hour weeks, always being so busy. And I used to wear busy like a badge of honor too. But here's the thing. Busy doesn't always equal productive, and it definitely doesn't guarantee profit. There's a huge difference between hustling hard and running in hamster wheel circles. So ask yourself, are the hours you're putting in genuinely moving the needle for your business's growth and profitability? Or are you just filling in time with endless tasks to feel productive? For example, spending half a day perfecting your logo or color coding your file folders might make you feel accomplished. But is it getting you new clients or increasing your revenue? Probably not. I had to learn this the hard way. I would jam pack my schedule, responding to emails, tweaking my website, chasing the minor tasks. And at the end of the week, I was exhausted, but not much richer. I was chasing busy. Building wealth means prioritizing high impact activities, serving clients exceptionally well, creating products people need, marketing effectively, reviewing your financial strategy. Sometimes it means doing less, but doing more of what truly matters. So, quick check. If you audited your own to-do list or calendar, how much of it is busy work and how much is business building work? It might be time to trim the fat. Remember, you want to work smarter, not just harder. We've all heard the saying before. The goal isn't to be busy. The goal is to be effective and to build real wealth. All right, number 3. And this is where my bookkeeper hat comes on firmly. Do I actually know my profit margins or am I just guessing? Be honest here. Do you know exactly how much you make after expenses on each product or service that you deliver? Or are you kind of guesstimating and hoping that it all works out? So many business owners shy away from their numbers. Maybe math isn't your favorite, or you're afraid the reality will be worse than you expected. But listen, the stories your books are telling you aren't emotional, they are factual. And that truth is freeing, it's not scary. I promise you, knowing your numbers is like turning on the headlights when you're driving at night. Suddenly, the road ahead is clear. When I finally dug into my own profit margins, I definitely had a few yikes moments. I discovered one of my services was barely breaking even. It was a huge wake-up call. But you know what? That knowledge empowered me. I wasn't operating on a gut feeling anymore. I had cold, hard facts to guide my decisions. So, do you actually know your profit margins? If not, it's time to find out. Open up your bookkeeping software or your spreadsheet and figure it out, down to the dollar and the percent, what you're really earning on each sale after the costs. And if the margins are thinner than you thought, that's okay. In fact, it's a good thing to know this. Now you can take action. Maybe you need to raise your prices, cut some unnecessary expenses, or double down on your more profitable offering. Knowing your margins is not optional homework. It is fundamental to running a healthy business. Remember, numbers don't lie. You might feel nervous to peek at the truth, but trust me, the clarity you'll get is incredibly empowering. No more flying blind or crossing your fingers. You'll be steering your business with data-driven confidence. Question 4 is a big self-accountability check. If my calendar was audited, would it reflect my priorities? So imagine a third party, maybe a tough business coach with a red pen, looked at every meeting, every task, every hour on your calendar for the past month. Would they be able to tell what your most important goals and values are? Or would they think that your priorities were answering emails, scrolling social media, and attending a bunch of random coffee chats that really go nowhere? I will confess that when I first did this exercise on myself, it was uncomfortable. I said my priority was growing my client base, but there sure were not many blocks of time devoted to marketing or sales in my calendar. Instead, I saw a lot of low priority stuff, tweaking my website design for the 10th time, sitting in on webinars that weren't really relevant at the time, and a whole lot of reactive busy work, jumping in on every email and notification like it was urgent. My calendar was full, but it was not full with the things that mattered most. So here's the tough love. Your calendar doesn't lie either. If you claim that something is important, like family time, strategic planning, or prospecting for new business, but never actually schedule it, then it's not really a priority. It's just a nice idea. So try this. Literally audit your calendar, color code it if you need to. How many hours are going to high value activities versus the trivial stuff? If an outside observer would struggle to identify your top 3 priorities, then you probably have some adjusting to do. The goal is to have your time align with your goals. And yes, of course, life happens. We all waste a little time. I am certainly guilty of having 90-minute Pinterest inspiration rabbit holes over here. But pattern is everything. Make sure the way you spend your day reflects what you say matters. At the end of the day, time is your most valuable asset, and how you spend it is the truest indicator of what's important in your business. Now, last but definitely not least, what am I pretending not to see in my business right now? This one is probably the most uncomfortable question of all. It's the elephant in the room. We all have something we kind of know is a problem, but we're conveniently not addressing it. It's time to shine a big spotlight on that thing. Maybe it's a product line that's bleeding money, but you're emotionally attached to it, so you ignore the signs. Maybe it's an employee or a contractor who isn't pulling their weight, but you avoid the confrontation. Or it could be that you haven't been following up with leads and then you act confused about why sales are slow, when deep down inside, you know exactly why. I have been guilty of this too. For me, there was a time when I was pretending not to see how disorganized my process was for onboarding new clients. I would drop the ball on follow ups and then I would tell myself that I was just really busy. But no, the truth was I was avoiding fixing a system that I knew was broken because it felt like a big, daunting project. I had to face it, own up to it, and then fix it. And guess what? Once I did, things got so much smoother. It's funny how problems shrink once you stop pretending they're not there, right? So take a second and really challenge yourself on this one. What are you sweeping under the rug? It could be financial. Maybe you're not looking at that mounting credit card debt. Operational. Hello, messy client onboarding process that I was just talking about. Or maybe it's personal, like a mindset issue, something like imposter syndrome. We've all gone through it. So it's tough to admit, I know, but identify it now because you cannot fix what you refuse to acknowledge. Ripping off the Band-Aid might sting, but it's the first step in healing that part of your business. Remember, denial is not a business strategy. Facing that uncomfortable thing head on is far better than letting it silently sabotage your success. So there you have it. 5 brutally honest questions. Are you feeling a little bit called out? That's a good thing. That means that you're being real with yourself, and that is where growth starts. I encourage you to actually answer these for yourself in writing. Grab that notebook or open up an app and jot down your honest answers, even if they make you wince a little bit. Awareness is power. Once you see the truth, you can do something about it. And remember, you don't have to go on this journey alone. If you're sitting there realizing that you've got some gaps to fill or changes to make, I've got your back. I offer a free consultation where we can chat one-on-one about your business. We can go over these tough questions together and start making a game plan so that you can get back on track. Sometimes an outside perspective is all you need to spark that breakthrough. The link to book a free consultation is in the show notes, or of course, you can head over to my website, starlightbookkeeping.com, and you can schedule it there. And please don't be shy. This is a zero pressure call, and it might be just what you need to gain some clarity on your next steps. Also, I should mention that if you're the kind of business owner who likes to do things yourself, but you could use a guiding hand, especially when it comes to your finances, check out my Starlight DIY Club. This is my monthly membership for entrepreneurs who want to do their own bookkeeping without feeling lost or overwhelmed and aren't quite ready to outsource it yet. Inside the club, you get access to tutorial videos, Q&A sessions with me, resources, and a supportive community of fellow business owners who are figuring it out just like you and me. It's basically like having a bookkeeper in your back pocket so that you know your numbers with confidence and keep your books in order, all while saving money doing it. I will drop the details for the DIY club in the show notes as well. So be sure to check that out if it sounds like your jam. All right, so that is a wrap for today's Tough Love session. I hope that you found these questions as enlightening as I do. They may be a little bit brutal, but they're also incredibly empowering once you face them and act on them. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to Balance for more real talk business tips and honest conversations. And please do me a favor, share this with a fellow business owner who might need a little tough love in their life. We all know someone who could use it. Thank you so much for listening. I am proud of you for sticking with me and facing the hard questions today. It shows that you're serious about your growth and your success. Keep being honest with yourself, keep taking action, and you will reap the rewards in both your business and your life. So until next time, stay balanced and keep crushing it.